Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village named Brooksville, there lived a young boy named Sam. Sam loved to write stories. He would sit by the window in his small, cozy room and write about magical places, brave heroes, and amazing adventures. But Sam was very shy. He didn't want anyone to know that he was the author of the stories. So, he called himself the Invisible Writer. Every week, Sam would write a new story. He would carefully write the story in his best handwriting, then sneak out of his house at night and leave the story on the steps of the village library. The librarian, Mrs. Jenkins, would find the story in the morning and put it on a special shelf for everyone to read. The villagers loved the stories of the Invisible Writer. Every week, they would gather in the library and read the latest story. The children would sit on the floor, listening with wide eyes as Mrs. Jenkins read aloud. The adults would smile and nod, enjoying the clever plots and interesting characters. One day, the village had a big festival. There was music, dancing, and lots of delicious food. The mayor of Brooksville, Mr. Brown, stood on a stage in the middle of the village square. He had a big smile on his face and a shiny medal in his hand. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, "we are here to celebrate the wonderful stories of the Invisible Writer. These stories have brought joy to our village and made us all very happy. We want to thank the Invisible Writer and give them this special medal." The villagers clapped and cheered. "The Invisible Writer! The Invisible Writer!" they shouted. Sam was in the crowd, hiding behind a tall man. He felt his heart beat faster. He didn't want to go on stage and reveal his secret. But then, he saw the happy faces of the villagers. They looked so excited and grateful. Sam took a deep breath and stepped forward. "I am the Invisible Writer," he said, his voice shaking a little. The crowd gasped. Then they started to clap and cheer even louder. "Thank you, Sam," they shouted. "Thank you for your wonderful stories." Mr. Brown smiled and put the shiny medal around Sam's neck. "Thank you, Sam," he said. "You have a great talent. Please keep writing and sharing your stories with us." Sam smiled, feeling proud and happy. "I will," he promised. From that day on, Sam wrote his stories with pride. He was no longer invisible. Everyone in the village knew who he was, and they all encouraged him to keep writing. And so, Sam continued to share his tales, bringing joy to his village with every new story. One sunny morning, Sam was sitting at his desk, looking out the window. The sky was blue, and the birds were singing. Sam felt happy and full of ideas. He picked up his pen and started to write. His new story was about a magical forest. In this forest, there were talking animals, hidden treasures, and secret paths that led to amazing places. The main character was a brave girl named Lily, who went on an adventure to find a lost treasure. Lily was smart and curious. She loved exploring new places and solving mysteries. One day, she found an old map in her attic. The map showed the way to a hidden treasure in the magical forest. Lily decided to follow the map and find the treasure. She packed her backpack with food, water, and a flashlight. She also took her favorite book and a small notebook to write down her adventures. Then, she set off on her journey. The forest was beautiful. The trees were tall and green, and the air was fresh and cool. Lily walked along the path, looking at the map. She felt excited and a little bit scared, but she was determined to find the treasure. As she walked deeper into the forest, she heard a soft rustling sound. She turned around and saw a small rabbit hopping towards her. The rabbit had big, brown eyes and a friendly smile. "Hello," said the rabbit. "My name is Benny. Are you looking for the treasure?" Lily nodded. "Yes, I am," she said. "Do you know where it is?" Benny nodded. "I can show you the way," he said. "But you have to be careful. The forest is full of surprises." Lily smiled. "Thank you, Benny," she said. "I will be careful." Benny and Lily walked together through the forest. They talked and laughed, becoming good friends. Benny knew a lot about the forest. He showed Lily the best places to find berries and the safest paths to walk on. After a while, they reached a big, old tree. The tree was so tall that its top touched the sky. Its trunk was wide and covered with thick, green moss. "The treasure is inside this tree," Benny said. "But there is a puzzle you have to solve to open it." Lily looked at the tree. There was a small door at the base, but it was locked. Next to the door, there was a stone with strange symbols carved into it. "This is the puzzle," Benny said. "You have to figure out the right combination to open the door." Lily studied the symbols carefully. She remembered a similar puzzle from one of her books. She thought hard, trying different combinations. Finally, she found the right one. The door opened with a soft click. Inside the tree, there was a small, wooden chest. Lily opened the chest and gasped. It was full of gold coins, sparkling jewels, and beautiful, old books. "You found the treasure," Benny said, hopping up and down with excitement. Lily smiled. "We found it," she said. "Thank you for your help, Benny." Lily and Benny took the treasure back to the village. The villagers were amazed and happy. They celebrated with a big feast and lots of dancing. Lily shared the gold and jewels with everyone and donated the old books to the village library. Lily became a hero in the village. She continued to explore the forest, finding new adventures and solving more mysteries. Benny was always by her side, helping and cheering her on. Sam finished writing the story and smiled. He felt proud of his work. He knew the villagers would love the story of Lily and Benny. That night, he left the new story on the steps of the library. The next morning, Mrs. Jenkins found it and put it on the special shelf. The villagers gathered around, excited to read the latest adventure of the Invisible Rider. As the villagers read the story, their faces lit up with smiles. They talked about Lily's bravery and Benny's kindness. They admired the magical forest and the hidden treasure. Sam watched from a distance, feeling happy and proud. He knew he had made a difference in his village. He had brought joy and excitement to the people he cared about. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Sam continued to write his stories. Each one was a new adventure, filled with interesting characters and exciting plots. The villagers eagerly awaited each new story, always excited to see what the Invisible Rider would come up with next. One day, Sam received a letter in the mail. It was from a big city far away. The letter was from a famous author named Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins had heard about the Invisible Rider and wanted to meet him. "Dear Sam," the letter said, "I have read your stories and I am very impressed. You have a great talent for writing. I would like to invite you to the city to meet other writers and share your work. I think you could learn a lot and make many new friends. Please let me know if you can come. Sincerely, Mr. Collins." Sam was surprised and excited. He had never been to the big city before. He showed the letter to his parents. They were very proud of him. "Sam, this is a wonderful opportunity," his father said. "You should go and meet Mr. Collins. We will support you in any way we can." Sam smiled and hugged his parents. "Thank you," he said. "I will go and make you proud." The next day, Sam packed his bags and got ready for his trip. The villagers gathered to see him off. They gave him gifts and wished him good luck. "Remember us when you become a famous writer," Mrs. Jenkins said, smiling. "I will never forget you," Sam said. "Thank you for always supporting me." Sam took the train to the big city. The journey was long, but he felt excited. When he arrived, Mr. Collins was waiting for him at the station. "Welcome, Sam," Mr. Collins said, shaking his hand. "I am very glad to meet you." "Thank you, Mr. Collins," Sam said. "I am excited to be here." Mr. Collins took Sam to a big building filled with books and writers. Sam met many new friends and learned a lot about writing. He attended workshops and listened to famous authors talk about their work. He felt inspired and motivated. During his time in the city, Sam wrote many new stories. He shared them with Mr. Collins and his new friends. They all praised his work and encouraged him to keep writing. One day, Mr. Collins made an exciting announcement. "Sam," he said, "I have spoken to a publisher and They want to publish your stories in a book. You will become a published author." Sam couldn't believe his ears. "Thank you, Mr. Collins," he said. "This is a dream come true." The book was published, and it became very popular. People from all over the country read Sam's stories and loved them. Sam received many letters from readers. The end.